joint conference?
I support Andrew Cuomo. He's been my candidate for governor for quite a while. He was my constituent. I worked with him, and I do believe that he and I can work effectively together in terms of governing in New York.
Are you a candidate for Speaker?
I don't think he gets the vote on who the Speaker is.
Do you have any criticisms of his criticisms of the legislature and how Albany works?
I have no criticism of Andrew. It's political. He's running for office, and he's running against three people who have declared themselves as candidates on the Republican side. And I think what's important is he put out a legislative agenda that he stands for, and that's what's important.
Well, who do you think he was talking about?
But an awful lot of those ideas seem antithetical to yours.
I am a leader of a conference. I have worked with Andrew on student loans. I've worked with Andrew on a number of issues. I applaud him. I've seen his energy. When he gets to the right issue, he will do what he has to do to make it happen. And that's one of the reasons I am an early supporter of Andrew Cuomo. I have been an early supporter of his, and will continue to be so.
Mr. Speaker, do you take issue with any of Mr. Cuomo's key points, though? There are several positions that you well know that seem to be at variance with yours. Do you disagree with him on anything you could cite for us?
I think, Fred, in the end result, Andrew and I can work together. We have in the past. We'll continue to work together, and I think we can find common ground on legislative issues.
Just as a follow-up, if I could, in his book, which he distributed that represents his positions, he says that New Yorkers are heavily taxed because of government overspending. You've emphasized a downturn in the economy. Do you agree with him that it's government overspending that's the blame?
Well, I think, we've had, since his father, there have been three governors in this state, and most of the time people look at the governor and how they lead the state. And I think that's what's happening now, and that's what Andrew wants to change. So I think in all of his criticisms, he and most of the press reports have probably omitted the fact that there was a governor or two involved in that as well. I think what's important is going forward. And moving forward, I think there is grounds under which legislators and the executive can come to an agreement on a host of issues, whether outlined in that book or not. I have not had the privilege of having an autographed copy of that.
Do you take any of his?
He wants disclosure of all outside income, including clients. What are your thoughts?
We have passed a bill that goes a long way toward that. That's all I can tell you. We have passed it in the Assembly and in the Senate.
But why do you refuse to disclose your outside income, Mr. Speaker?
When it's the law, I will.
How will the Democratic Party reconcile the message of an outsider running against the legislature with incumbents that currently make up all the levers of New York government?
All I can tell you is New York government is made up of a lot of people. Legislators, executive branch as well. I think you and many people have focused on the legislative branch since Governor Cuomo. There have been three governors. Not much has been said about them, and I think that all goes into the equation when you deal with it.
But Mr. Cuomo has said that the current government is broken, and his candidacy is trying to fix the current government. How do you reconcile your desire to continue to be part of that government with his desire to be the governor?
I think that he and I can continue to work together as we have till now as part of the current government.
How do you feel about his pledge? Do you intend to sign his pledge?
I don't sign anybody's pledges. I mean, pledges are fixed in time usually, and they really don't mean much. I have never signed a pledge till now.
Mr. Speaker, Attorney General Cuomo says our state government's become a national disgrace. What do you make of that statement?
I think it's a good campaign statement when you're running for governor and you're pledging to be a reform candidate.
Do you disagree with him then, though? You don't agree with Mr. Cuomo in saying that the government is a national disgrace?
I think that certain individuals in our government have been and will continue to be, and to the best way that we can root them out, we will be better off.
It's a mess, though, isn't it? I mean, we don't have a budget 2 months into it. There have been all kinds of problems. Dysfunction is widely used as an adjective for New York government. Would you deny that it's a mess?
No, Fred, you say it long enough that you actually believe it.
Well, but convince me I'm wrong then, if I am.
I don't have to convince you.
You don't
you're
think
wrong.
it's a
I don't
mess?
pay your bill.
You don't think it's a mess?
Huh?
You don't think the government's a mess?
I think our government can use improvement, and I welcome Andrew's leadership, and that's what it's about.
Okay, thanks, guys. We got to go.